2010 wasn't the best year for the young North Central basketball team, but 2011 has brought the CCIW schedule and a trio of big victories. Stick around for all the details. The Cardinal Report starts right now. Welcome to the show. I'm Alex Simmons. This week we welcome in the North Central men's basketball team. We're joined by Cardinal head coach Todd Raridon. Coach, we appreciate you coming on with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, now the story of your team this year was, where is the scoring going to come from? Now we've seen some young players emerge, and you guys have really gotten on a little bit of a roll here lately.
Well, we have, and that was a big question, is where we're going to get points. We returned Derek Raridon, who averaged close to about 20 a game, I think, last year. But other than that, we lost the rest of our scoring production to graduation. So, but we've had a nice mix of inside guys that have stepped up as freshmen and contributed. Plus, some of our perimeter guys are starting to play well, shooting the ball extremely well from the outside. So it's been a good mix of new and old right now.
What were some of your thoughts coming in about this team into the season, and kind of what have they done as far as lived up to them, overperformed, underperformed?
Well, at times I've thought they've underachieved, but here lately I think they're overachieving right now. I mean, their expectations, I thought we could have a pretty good basketball team. I really did. I thought we had some good talent, some good young talent. We mix it with some of our older guys. We have two seniors, and Brian Evans, Mike Winans, and then we have a couple juniors, but then the rest of them are either sophomore or freshmen. So I thought we had a chance to be pretty good, but it probably was going to take a little time to get that mixture together. I think early in the season we were probably playing 11, 12, maybe even 13 guys at one time in a game, which was way too many, but we're just trying to find the right mix, and now we're down to about 8 or 9. And
does it come to a point where some of the guys maybe do get a little bit more familiar with each other as you start to approach the conference season, once they're playing in more games, especially when you have the youth that you guys have?
Well, I think they feel comfortable with each other. I think they're starting to trust each other, and that's the biggest thing is, how well they trust each other on the floor, and that's something that, we've tried to preach since day one is just that chemistry, and the chemistry is continuing to get better, it seems like, especially since conference has started.
And you talked about your couple of senior leaders. How big is it to have a guy who I would assume is maybe kind of an extension of you, like Brian out there, senior point guard, who could kind of direct some things and keep the team kind of together out on the floor?
Well, Brian's, he's not the most vocal kid, which is fine. I mean, he leads by his example. I mean, he works extremely hard. I think he's one of the leaders as far as rebounding in the conference at 6'3", but he finds a way, and he thinks every shot that's taken, if it's going to come off, it's his rebound to be had. And his work ethic just is such that everybody follows with. Mike Wine is more of a vocal leader. I mean, he's got to lead by probably more so because he doesn't see as much playing time as what Brian does. But still, I mean, you rely heavily on your upperclassmen for leadership, and those two have done a really nice job so far.
Well, the Cardinals made it a 3-game winning streak when Milliken came into Naperville over the weekend. Let's take a look at the highlight. It's Relay for Life night at Gregory Arena. Cardinals hoping to defend the home court against Milliken and Kyle Taylor. The Cardinals break through late in the first. Brad Hallstein reverses the ball to goal 3. Bang! Then Jack Burchett backing him down and laying it in. Then Derek Raridon knocks down the long jumper. The Cardinals close out the first half with a 10-0 run. It's 35-18 at the break. Second half now, and the Cardinals are hustling. Brian Evans, persistence is the key to his success. 43-25 North Central. He would continue to attack the bucket. This time, he only needs one crack at it. The senior had 8 points and 5 assists. Team defense a key as well. Vince Kamick behind the back around the world. He does it all on this play. Cardinals lead wire to wire in this one, 67-55. Coach, I know from talking to you at the beginning of the season, it seemed to be that this team's success was all about bringing the intensity on the defensive end and who was going to do it. And it looks like towards these last couple weeks that's really come to fruition when you guys have stacked together a couple wins.
Well, I think defensively, I mean, we have to play great team defense. And, it starts with Brian Evans, really, because he's one of those hustle guys, and we talked about him in his leadership and so forth. But, everybody else has to follow suit. And the problem with that is we have, two freshmen out there that are playing in the post position that are trying to keep themselves out of foul trouble, and they're trying to learn how to play post defense at the college level. And consequently, they've gotten themselves into foul trouble. But, I think they've continued to grow. I think the guys around them, Derek has helped them, Brian has helped them, Kevin Gillespie at the point guard's helped them. But it's come together, I think, so to speak, this early in the season, which is good. Now the idea here is to improve and get better from where we're at right now as the season progresses. And hopefully that'll happen more at the defensive end. I think one of the things that I've been pleased with is just our rebounding. I mean, we're one of the top rebounding teams in the conference, if not the top. And that's something that we have to do. And we have the size to do it, and we need to take advantage of it.
Definitely. And I know the other thing that we've kind of alluded to a little bit here is the youth on this team. You had a gigantic recruiting class coming in, kind of numbers-wise. How tough is it to kind of manage a group that large as a staff? Is it tough?
Well, I think it's always tough because, every freshman wants to play, and that's something that, I try to tell them that not every freshman can. I mean, in some cases it's like high school. Did they play as a freshman in high school? And, it's an adjustment for a lot of kids, and some can play and some can't, and right now, we're starting 2 freshmen, but yet three of our guys off the bench are freshmen. I mean, we have one of our post players is a freshman, one of our backup point guards a freshman, and then our backup guard's a freshman. So we've really had to learn on the run here, and they've done a tremendous job for us.
And is that kind of why you talked about, these last 2-3 weeks, you guys have whittled down that rotation maybe to 8 or 9 guys and been able to shorten it a little bit?
Well, we have, and we had to. I think for us to be successful, we had to. We could not keep playing, like I said, 13 guys and be successful. And I think we were trying to find the right mix at the right time, but it just comes down to we couldn't keep everybody happy. I mean, everybody wants to play, and there's just not enough minutes for everybody, and so we just had to make that decision, and so far it's worked out for us.
Well, as we've talked about here, commitment to defense has been a big part of the basketball team's recent success. Turning that defense into offense is the subject of this week's What's the Word?
Our defense creates our offense, and that's when we play good defense, that's what gives us the best opportunity to get easy buckets at the other end, and then just good execution in our zone game, being patient, waiting, not taking the first shot, but the most open shot. So just being patient and playing solid defense is what helps our offense out the most.
We wanted to be a quicker team, and obviously they were a little flustered. We had some steals off it that got us going and everything, and once we did that, it was just pretty simple from there. And then our zone really shut them down. They weren't hitting anything from outside, and it worked.
It's a team defense. That's what Coach preached, and that's all we did, all together. Playing hard defense, that's like the main thing. We can keep teams from scoring, we'll be fine by playing team defense and then working around on offense, find the hot guy, and then whoever hot that night, let them put it in the goal.
Coach, you guys have a couple of really tough road contests coming up in the CCIW at Carthage and Augustana this week. What's going to be the key for the Cardinals going into those couple of contests?
Well, I think you've already said. I mean, defensively, we have to play great defense on the road, and we have to rebound on the road. And those two things, if we control those, they're going to hit tough shots. Both teams will. Carthage is extremely talented. They have a number of three-point shooters. They have the MVP of the league the last 2 years, and he's somebody that can score anytime, anywhere. And so he's going to make tough shots. It's just the mindset that we have going in that he's going to make some tough shots, but we can't let that affect our game for the next play. We have to play the next play. We have to play great defense, and hopefully we can stop him. But they have 4 other guys on the floor that can score. So it's again, it boils down to team defense and how well we play that, and then keep them to one shot, and that boils down to the rebounding.
Kind of one of those things that maybe on defense having a short-term memory like that when you're guarding somebody face up on the perimeter?
Well, yeah, I hope they have short-term because I mean, Lil Bosco. I mean, he's tough. I mean, he's been in this league now. This is the 4th year we've seen him, and he's just improved each year, and that's something you want to see out of, from a freshman to senior. But yet, he's going to miss some shots too. It's not like he makes every shot. So the ones that he misses, we have to be able to grab and not say, "Wow, we got him stopped." But then all of a sudden, now they got the basketball back off the offensive rebound, and now we're playing defense again on him, and that's not what we need.
And youth's kind of been the theme of the day so far with this interview here today, and with The amount that you guys lost, was it really that somebody was going to have to step up and it depended who emerged?
Well, I think it did. I mean, I thought early in the season we probably relied on Derek quite a bit as far as putting a lot of stuff on his shoulders. But, you know, I think as the season has progressed, I mean, I think some other guys have taken upon him to get things done. And it hasn't just had to be one individual. And I think that's why our team success has been what it is at present time here lately, is that everybody can do a little bit of things differently and do them well. And that's the key to, you know, having the 8-9-man rotation.
Just getting it to the hot guy that night?
Well, I hope so, you know, and we've had some guys that have been hot, and we hope that that continues.
And you talked about rebounding a little bit and how you guys like to take a lot of pride in it. It's not very often that you see Brian Evans, a guy who is a guard, who leads your team in rebounding at 7.7 a game. Have you ever seen a guard get after basketball like he does on the defensive end?
Well, no. I mean, he and the offensive end as well. I mean, he can get after it. I mean, you watch tape, and he's more on the perimeter, and so he just goes after it. I mean, he's one of those guards, you know, you love to have him on your team. If you're coaching against him, you hate him, and that's just the way it is. But we're fortunate he's on our team, and we're glad to have him, and we hope that he continues that, because we need his effort. I mean, for us to be successful, he has to bring his A game every night for us.
Well, thank goodness he's on your squad. We'll stick around. Coming up, Coach and I will be joined by two Cardinal leaders just after this short break.